Well, good morning, guys. We're on Wednesday, the 22nd of September. Yeah, had a couple of days available, so I've just come down to the park. I hope to get back to Manor next week. Yeah, try and get a couple of the ones I want over the autumn out of there. There's not many I want now. And yeah, probably be moving on next year. So, you know, I'll get much more of a buzz with fishing new waters these days. Or, you know, I love the park. It's where I grew up. I keep coming here. I will always come here a few times a year, especially when you know, work's busy and I don't get that much time. But yeah, hopefully, if all goes to plan, I've already got something in the pipeline next year, so hopefully we'll be on a new venue next year. But yeah, just wanted to talk a little bit about well, my trip to West End, so to be honest. It was brutal, is the only way to describe it. I mean, I think sometimes, you know, when you work at it and you generally come out of it, you know, successful on nearly all sessions, you just don't think you can put a foot right. Sorry, I put a foot wrong, but I couldn't put a foot right on West End. Yeah, it was a struggle. I mean, my mate Darren, fair play to him, he done all right. He seemed to do all right from the off. The fish wanted to be in front of him. They didn't, no matter how much he clubbed them, they didn't go. They went either to his left or to his right, but they was never too far away, so fair play to him. He ended up with a lot of big fish. I think it was 11 or 12 he had in the end, something like that. But yeah, oh dear, I'm allergic to wasps, and I got stung by a wasp. I got bitten by red ants. I chased them around the pond. Yeah, and they're not one for floaters really on West End, but I worked at it for 3 days to get them going mad. And I'm not joking when I say that I actually had them come up and so gracefully, and they were going along with the controller and I was striking and missing them. Even fishing a mixer on the hair, if you can't hook them, then you know nothing's going right for you. It really was a kick in the teeth, week-long session. And to cap it off, not only did it go wrong for me all week, when I did put a single hook bait in the right place, I put a stone on the spool. So I carried on packing up, blah blah blah, you know. Looked out in the middle, see a funny bow wave, didn't think much of it. A couple of minutes later I thought I'd better go and check that rod. Stone was off the spool, line was tight. You know, barbless hooks. It had gone round the weed a couple of times and just shed the hook, and I just thought, just couldn't do anything right, you know. And I had a spare alarm there, but my confidence was not that bad that week. I didn't know what I was doing or where I was going at the end of it, and but that's fishing. Like I say, you know, you can think you've mastered it, and you know that you know. I like to fish all aspects, you know, use all aspects of carp fishing, you know, from floater fishing to float fishing to bloody fishing zigs, chods, everything you can think of. And when you try everything, generally on most waters, and be able to save the session, looking back at what went wrong, you know, on that trip, it's quite amusing really. You just know it wasn't meant to be, and that's just it, you know. That's carp fishing for you. That's, at the end of the day, if you caught every time you went fishing, it'd be catching, not fishing. But yeah, like I say, here we are. I haven't been fishing now for, this is nearly a couple of weeks. And I had a couple of days come available, so I've decided just to come close to home. You know, the only 2 sessions I've done down here this year, I had 16 fish, which is, you know, crazy. A couple of them were 40s. So yeah, we're here. Like I say, it's about 10 o'clock now, I think. We've got 48 hours. I mean, I could push 72 if I really needed to. I mean, if it goes well, I probably will. got to make up for that West End trip at the end of the day. But at least I can laugh about it now. It didn't seem that funny at the time. But yeah, like I say, I'm going to get the gear out in a minute and have a walk round. And there's quite a few lads on yesterday, having a chat with my mate Cheddar. Yeah, he said some of them are going to be going home around lunchtime today. So I'm going to have a cup of coffee now, and then think about getting the gear out and having a wander around, see what's happening. I managed to grab an hour walking around early part of the week. I found a few in an area where there's no anglers. Yeah, it's one of them areas where they will visit and they love it there. But in my experience over the years, they don't generally like to stay there at night. They're creeping there for a few hours during the day, most days, but yeah, they won't generally stay there. So, but I'll have a look, you know, if I've got a few hours where I'm waiting for someone to move where I want to move into or whatever, then maybe I'll put a couple of rigs out there if I see anything. But yeah, we'll try and see, try and find where they are and hopefully get near them. Yeah, I re-spooled up this morning that before I come as well. Put a load of new line on. After that, you know, after that recent bad trip, I didn't want any more bad luck, you know, fishing at range. So yeah, new line went on. Just trying to eliminate anything else going wrong in, you know, in the coming trips. So yeah, see you on the bank shortly. Well, there we are, guys. All just a bit, well, getting set up now. Yeah, we're about 4 hours on from where I was when I last spoke to you. It's about 2 o'clock now. Done a lap of the lake, and yeah, there was fizzing just out here, loads of it. Definitely on the naturals. So yeah, we'll see where we go. I'm just getting ready to I've only got 2 rods out, but 2 out in small bags, because there was a hell of a lot of fizzing out there, like I say. So yeah, I'm gonna get the spod rod set up, find a spot, and yeah, I think I want to be in the silt rather than the gravel, so I'm going to find a siltier area and put some bait on it. Yeah, still very, very bright. Clouds building up slowly. But yes, well, let's get to it. Well, guys, just a quick update. Yeah, I got the rods out earlier. I put a couple of rods out early, as you know, on the fizzing. Fizzing soon subsided. It was middle of the afternoon, so it gone 2 o'clock by the time they were sort of sorted out. Then got wiped out by swans and got a baited area sorted out. And yeah, just had a bream shortly after that, but there's been no fizzing or anything this evening. In fact, it's been pretty quiet. I noticed a few out in the middle to my left, but you know, the amount of fizzing there was out here this morning, yeah, the amount of fizzing there was out here this morning, I decided to leave them. Yeah, because there's every chance I might come back in the morning. As you heard then, it sounded like a bit of a liner then. So yeah, fingers crossed something will happen in the night. If it does, you'll be the first to know. Morning all. Just thought I'd have a little bit of a catch up. I've been making cheddar around for several hours, supping tea yesterday, so yeah, I didn't get a chance to do much yesterday afternoon. But yeah, well, yesterday obviously I come in here because I see a lot of fizzing. By the time I got the rods out, I just put a couple of little bags out. The fizzing soon subsided. It got really warm middle of the afternoon. Yeah, there wasn't much to go on after that. I'd have led around, found a silty area in amongst the gravel that I fancied, and put a bit of bait out, and had a bream shortly after. But yeah, buzzing. Got a carp in the net now. I earned an for hours and hours yesterday afternoon. I only had 2 rods out till about 5:05. Couldn't decide on what to do with the third rod. So yeah, after waiting for the water to go flat and that as the evening drew on, I decided to put the third rod just off the bait, to the right of the bait, just on a little bag, and yeah, I had a few liners. Must be an hour ago now. On my middle and right hand rod, and yeah, the one just off the bait burst into life, and yeah, we got one in the landing net, so happy days. I needed that after that recent trip to West End. Yeah, that was a ball breaker, but yeah, buzzing with that. Yeah, I haven't seen anything else though. Haven't had any liners since either. Mind you, it's only been the landing net about 20 minutes. Just waiting for the light to just get up a little bit better. Yeah. Fingers crossed there's more out there. But yeah, well pleased to get one on the first morning. I had to come back and have another go. You know, after them 2 trips, like the only 2 trips I've had this year, having all them fish, yeah, I had to come back. And it's paid off, you know. I don't know what it is. I think it's probably a mid-20, something like that, mirror. But it's a fish. It's a lovely morning as well. I dare say when the light gets, when the sun gets up and a bit more light on the water, we'll be able to see if there's any fizzing out there. But we've had one, that's the main thing. Quick cup of tea and we should get it sorted out. Nothing better in the morning than watching the mist rise off the water. Just waiting for that first carp to poke the head out. But there she is. awaiting photos. Just gonna have a cup of tea and yeah, get her out and have a look at her. There we go, guys. 24 and a half. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a mid-20. Cracking fish. Yeah, really nice chestnutty brown colour. And yeah, don't recognise that one. It's obviously one that's grown on. Yeah, cracker. Well pleased. Hopefully there's more to come during the trip. I should show you the other side quick. It's quite plain on the other side. That's the better looking side for sure. There she is, the little dumpling. Yeah, very nice. Right, let's get her back and we'll have a celebratory cup of tea. Happy days. Gotta love a September morning, a bit fresher. No mist coming off the water. Yeah. There's certainly been a few out towards them swans, a little bit further than I'm fishing, but there's a few about. Lovely morning. Sun's just coming up behind this tree here. Yeah. I'm just going to sit down, tie a few rigs and and await developments. There's definitely just to the left of the spot out there. Might pick it up on camera and just see the odd bit of bubbling. Yeah, there you go. There's definitely a couple to the left of the spot out there, so definitely on the naturals. But we'll see. Well, you don't see that every day, guys. A dove sitting on your rods and bouncing all over them. Maybe he's marking the middle rod for a big one. Or maybe the left. Well guys, it's 1:45 in the afternoon now. And yeah, I'm in two minds in what to do. Swim's come available down the other end. It's quite evident there's a few fish down that end. I think that end done 4 fish last night. Yeah, I think there's one lost as well, so there was definitely a few fish turning up down here this morning. Obviously I had that one as well at 24 and a half. But yeah, it's just weighing it up, you know. I like to have one of them bigger commons. Just weighing it up whether, you know, they don't come out that much, so I'm not convinced they swim with the other fish too much. It's just weighing it up sometimes, you know. Whether I stay down here where there's no pressure on them at all with only my 3 lines out, or whether I go down the other end where the fish have been getting caught. And not that it matters now really, you know, I've had one. Any more is a bonus, so yeah, I'm just trying to weigh it up. I'm going to have another little look down there in a bit. Decide on what to do. There was a couple of good fish out here though this morning, head and shouldering. I know they've definitely got their heads down in them naturals and whatever at the minute. They're doing a hell of a lot of fizzing. I think everything's fizzing, you know, bream, tench. But yeah, there was definitely a couple of good ones out there, head and shoulder this morning. I think I caught one of them on video actually. Yeah, so we'll see. Keep watching out here, see if there's anything, you know, see if it's worth staying put. And then I'll have a wander down there, see if it's worth moving. But yeah, my head's in turmoil at the moment. Can't decide, but keep watching, see what happens. Well guys, middle of the afternoon. Only put out 18 spoms about an hour ago, and the left hand rod went into meltdown. And over there, I think we've got a 30 pounder. If it ain't 30, it's close. I'm pretty sure it is though. Let's get it sorted out. Well, there we go guys. Bite completely out of the blue after about an hour after putting out 18 spoms. I hadn't had a bite other than bream off the baited area. The one I had this morning fell to a rod, which is about a rod length off the baited spot. So yeah, hopefully it means they'll start visiting it a bit more frequently now. I've got 72 hours if I want it. I was only going to do 48, so we'll see how the night goes and decide tomorrow what we're going to do. But yeah, what a cracker that is, £30.4. Happy days. Yeah. That'll do nicely. Right, let's get it back. It's a lovely evening. There's the odd fish showing. Yeah, strange that the baited area I've been fishing. I was fishing two right on the bait and the right hand rod. Last night I put to the, you know, about a rod length right, maybe a little bit further. Yeah, the middle rod right on the bait, right on the majority of the bait, produced two bream. So it must have been about 3 o'clock. I thought I'm gonna change the hook bait. I just took it off the bottom bait, put it on a wafter, and fished it about a rod length left. And I put 18 spoms straight down the middle. Yeah, I was quite surprised when the rod to the left of the bait, an hour later, rattled off. Sort of getting ready, thinking of the I was thinking of the night and morning really, but yeah, that was a nice surprise. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it, but to the right of the screen, there's another one at the back. Yeah, it's nice to see. Yeah, they're a bit past my spot, but they're there. There's some fish there. There's been a lot of breaming amongst them. This morning I noticed there was a lot of breaming amongst them, but there is carp out there. So yeah, fingers crossed for the night or in the morning. Another one over the back, almost in the middle of the shot past that bird. There was another one, I might have been bream that one, but the first one was definitely a carp. But yeah, rods are settled again. Changed all the hook baits over apart from the middle rod. Kept that on the same, I kept that on the bottom bait. But yeah, now I've got two wafters on because that's the ASM wafters have been what's done with the two carp. show. They didn't show yesterday evening at all. Didn't show. No. Oh, actually, I think I did. Actually, I think there's one or two. I think I caught one or two. I think I actually caught one on camera, but it was, yeah, it wasn't like this evening. I think I must have seen about 10 shows now, mainly to the right, nowhere near where my baited area is, but they've been out there. They've been out there a while now. They've been out there since yesterday. I'd rather them just swim around and swim around quite freely. They come over it the way they've been fizzing that in the mornings. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to come across it. So yeah, we'll see what the night and early morning brings, and decide on what we're going to do. Whether we do the third night tomorrow night. Oh, one nearly blew the bird out the water over there then. Oh dear, he had a surprise, that coot. But yeah, they're not a million miles away. But again, I reckon where I'm actually fishing, I'm only fishing just under, I think it's just under 16 rats, 15 and 3/4, something like that. But it's deep, it's probably 16, got to be 16 foot, 15, 16 foot, I would think. Right, tie a few more bags up ready for the evening, tie a few more rigs and await developments. Well guys, they've been rolling this evening, which is a good sign. Yes, fingers crossed we'll get another one in the night or in the morning. They've certainly been showing a lot more than they did last night. Fingers crossed. I'll keep you updated if we have any action. Well, good morning all. Yeah, quiet night. Second night, quiet night. Yeah, nothing occurred during the night. A couple of liners. Fish might have been coming in and out this end. But noticed a little bit of fizzing this morning. So I've just literally wound one of the rods in and I've walked it down the margin and just flicked it out. Because they're literally down the margin really close into my right. So yeah, try that. Give that a few hours while they're fizzing, see if anything occurs. But yeah, hello. Well guys, buzzing. As you'll see by the last clip, I just walked the rod down the margin, and while I'm talking to you on camera, it's bending round, and yes, we have got one of the fish that I stayed down this end for, believe it or not. I said I wanted one of them good commons, and it's exactly what I've got. Yeah. That's what you call a good morning. Happy days. Yeah, can't quite believe it. Literally, it had been down there 5 minutes. 5 minutes. It looks like it's ruined it though. There was an awful lot of fizzing down that margin, but it absolutely tore me all over the place. So, still, pucker. That's what I wanted. We'll see how big it is. Mid-30, I reckon. But yeah, good times. Well, guys, got to say, absolutely buzzing. As you can see on the last clip of one of the last clips of the film, I just put a rod in the margin to see a bit of fizzing, and yeah, one of the big commons I was talking about is right here. Obviously, where it's been shut a while, he's not as big as I was thought he was going to be. He's about 35-6. I'm well happy. Look at the length of that one. What an absolute cracker that fish is. Yeah, what a banger. Yeah, light ain't the best, but you know, it's yeah, it's that fish put up an absolute battle roar. But yeah, well pleased with that. Right, let's get her back and have another go for another one. Amazing, third fish. Yeah, that's 2 nights done. I think I've got to stay now, see what else I can catch. Fingers crossed anyway. Happy days, well pleased with this one, well pleased with this one. Let's get her back. Well guys, just made up a couple of more little bags of goodness, the old ASM crumb. Yeah, I think I'm only going to have one rod tonight. Last night I'm only going to have one rod over the bait. It's yeah, just don't think it's the one at the minute. I think, you know, little pockets of bait, while they're fizzing the way they are, I think it's the way. So I'll just only have one tonight over the bait. But yeah, it's the wind's picked up now, but it's very, very warm. I haven't got a rod anywhere near the bait out there today. I just flipped them about, just on bags. I'll say later on, about 3 o'clock, I'll probably put one back over the bait, or just to the side of the bait. That done a bite yesterday afternoon, so yeah. And then we'll await developments and we're deciding what we're going to do with these other 2 later on. But yeah, never know, but I'm not expecting a lot really till evenings, night and early morning. Not in this heat, but you never know. Done a lot, say, done a bite yesterday afternoon, so. Fingers crossed for one more. Well, there you go, guys. That's what's done with the 3 bites. Just a trimmed down ASM wafter. Just a little bag of crumb. Like I say, have one off each side of the baited area, not right in the baited area, one off each side, and then one from down the margin this morning. That nice common. So yeah, tonight I'm only having one on the bait. Definitely only having one on the bait. Just the way they're coming round fizzing, I think. A little parcel's the way forward. So yeah, that's what we should try. Well guys, got to be honest, it's been the quietest evening yet. I see one little common launch itself out in the middle, and other than that, very quiet. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if they push back in the night, or whether they're just out there not doing a lot. Time will tell. Have something to eat and have an early night, I think. Well, good morning all. It's a very different morning this morning, in the fact that it's very, very foggy or misty out there, and yeah, it's one of them. It's I haven't seen any fizzing this morning or any signs to go on. So yeah, behind me there, I've just started wrapping things up. Yeah, I'll be away for about 9, I think. I've done the extra night on the hope that, you know, there'd be a few still down here this morning, but as I say, at the moment, no signs of them. No, nothing. But it's, you know, the mist hasn't cleared enough to actually see where the fizzing's going on, or if there's anything going on at all out there. So yeah, got about an hour or so left, but anyway, it's been a good trip. 3 fish, 2 30s, that mid-30 common, that made the trip for me. Yeah, I mean, you know, those of you that have been watching my previous videos know that I've done 10 nights on the river, had 19 fish. Can't really leave it on 19. So yeah, I think the next trip will be on the river. So yeah, so fingers crossed. We'll get out there in the next, I don't know, few days, next week or so, and give it a go on the river. Gonna go back on the main river somewhere else. I might even, I've got to go and do a little job later on, so on my way back I might go and put some bait in somewhere else, have a look about. But yeah, I think the next one's going to be on the river. And then hope to get back towards the end of next week, beginning of the following, because obviously I only do nights on the river, overnighters. But yeah, hopefully I'll get a trip in down here with Cheddar. He's been down here drinking tea with me and been on at me about, you know, getting another social trip in and whatever. So I'm going to do that in a week or so's time. Yeah, get back for another go. But until then, hope you like the video, guys. If you do, give us a thumbs up, think about subscribing, and by all means follow me, Adam Honeyset on Facebook, Adam Carp Honeyset on Instagram, and I'll see you on the bank soon. Tight lines, guys.